Okay, so before we start, I do want to preface that this may be a little overwhelming to see, to learn, to read, but just know that you will be guided along the way. We will have enough mentors to be able to assist you in the process, but we definitely want you girls to take a stab at it yourselves. Remember our DIY way, you do it yourself, but not alone. So this screen that I'm seeing here, that you're seeing here, is the raspberrypi.com like homepage. And there's a lot of information, right, that can be very daunting to look at. There are different options and pages, so you can go to the hardware, what specific products there are available, right? And then obviously like it leads you to like selling like selling to like pages to be able to purchase these items if need be. There's also the software page that dives into what the operating system you'll need for the Raspberry Pi to work. So for the software team particularly, you would be downloading this operating system for the Raspberry Pi if you were to use it, um, right? If you were to use it, which is not the case for your software team, right? But that's that page right here. There's this documentation page as well that allows you to hit any of these things that you're particularly looking for, like using Linux, right? I know we had an issue with that earlier today, or the getting started button, which is setting up your Raspberry Pi, yada, yada, yada. There's other bookmarks here that dive into a little bit more information regarding these like headings here. And then they're bookmarks, so basically everything that's listed here is on the same page. As you can see, I can scroll down and up, and pretty much if I click on it, it'll take me strictly to that portion within that page, so I don't have to be scrolling. So that's the nice thing about these like little bookmarks on the left. And then, so if you go back to computers, and let's say you don't want to do the getting started, you want to actually go to the operating system for the Raspberry Pi, I'll also let you know more like info there, configuring it. There's like different things that you can like look over should you need them for your project, right? Okay, so then now we're actually going to dive into the link that I have provided on Slack. So go ahead and click on that link, and then we can dive into the actual like Raspberry Pi tour. Okay. All right, ladies. So once you go ahead and click on the link that I just shared, you'll see that there's an introduction to the Raspberry Pi. It'll give you the tools here, what you will need. Will be the next section, right? So you'll have the Raspberry Pi computer with the SD card, the monitor, the cable, the USB keyboard and mouse, the power supply, your headphones, and an Ethernet cable. Those are optional as we will be using it with the Wi-Fi. And then also the Raspberry Pi OS, which Patty already gladly installed for you all. Now, in order to see what the Raspberry Pi entails, you can definitely look at this data sheet, right, and getting started. It'll let you know what these inputs and ports are called. So you have where you insert your SD card, you have your USB power port, and then you have HDMI ports to hook up onto the monitor. You have your camera module port and so forth. Okay, so these are things that you can read what each entails. Now connecting the Raspberry Pi to get it running, it'll tell you the actual steps in order to accomplish that. So given that you have all these materials and these ports, you'll be able to get it running at it appropriately, right? So you scroll down once you get it to go. Your Raspberry Pi should then boot into your graphical desktop on your actual like monitor screen, and then you can go ahead and finish the setup by following the steps that you have here. So this is for you to read over. It basically gives you step by step. Now taking a tour to your Raspberry Pi. This is pretty much what the program will pop up as, and you can already basically start testing it. So right here it instructs you to type, I just built a Raspberry Pi computer, and then you would type it in and hit file, save, and it should save on the desktop. So go ahead and follow these steps here. A terminal, the terminal is the screen that pops up where you're able to see the code run. So that's going to pop up, and then coming down here, and then pretty much just getting it connected to the internet. So if you didn't plug in an Ethernet cable, you guys might be too young to know what that is. Or you can connect it to the Wi-Fi network during the setup, which is usually like what you guys do, connect to the Wi-Fi. And that's pretty much it. So after that, it allows you to see that you can challenge yourself by either playing a game, doing some code on Scratch, or even like programming, I believe. So like, let's just say, oh, I loved it. Browse all the projects, and then you'll be able to see the projects listed here for you to browse. Okay, well, that's it for the tour of getting started. Go ahead and do that once clicking on the link, and Patty will definitely be there to support you all in the process. Okay, thanks. Bye.